YouTube, what's good with y'all boys? We're back again with another backtesting video, and in this video we'll be on TradeZilla today. Last video I did be around FX Replay. This one will be strictly TradeZilla. I like both softwares, honestly. I think TradeZilla just added a new like prop firm sync mechanism. So, and then asset side trade is NQ and ES. So what we'll do is we'll get a random day generator right here, pick a random day. February 20th, 2021. And so the first thing that I do when I start a new backtesting session is I like to get an idea of what the higher time frame context is, what the higher time frame narrative is. So off the rip, I could see that we're trading all-time highs and that price is relatively overextended, but we are just ripping right now. So I don't know, we'll see. But obviously want to lean bullish here because all-time highs is right above us. Want to see if there's any like higher time frame PD raise that we could use to reject the audit to go back and to target all-time highs. Let me see if I have it saved right here. I don't, so I'll name this all-time highs just like this, and then usually I like to put my text to the right just like that. So we have all-time highs above us. If we look at the daily, we are about to tap into this daily fair value gap, so I want to see how this PD array holds. I'll just name it like that, and then we'll just name this daily FVG just like that. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Still relatively bullish on the like lower time frame at least. I mean bearish on the lower time frame at least. So maybe you want to see if we get a retrace. One thing I do notice is that we have an unfilled hourly right here that I would assume price wants to go tap back into, at least if we're going to run lower or at least if we're going to run higher. So a lot of the times when you see price overextended into one area like how we are right here, if we just pull out the fib tool and you mark out the high and the low of this range, just like this, where we haven't even tapped into the 0.5 yet, you can see that this hourly typically needs to get tapped into in order for us to either, number one, we'll do something like this where we're tapping into the 0.5 through the hourly and then reject lower, or we'll do something like the opposite way where we see price, tap into this hourly and then we start to make the bullish continuation back up. But either way, the hourly and the 0.5 of the range is going to be a good target to utilize in this specific scenario. What I'll do is I'll just kind of scale down to the lower time frame and see if we have any session highs and session lows. So in order for me to find session highs and session lows, what I do is I do indicator, type in session right here, boom, and what this indicator does is to mark out London high right here. So this is going to be the London high. Boom, I'm just going to mark that out like that, and then this is going to be Asia high right above there as well. So London high is somewhat similar to where the 0.5 is of the range, so we'll for sure like that as a good draw on liquidity. And then what I'll do is I'll just turn it off when I'm done, just like this, boom. And then what we'll do is we'll just scale down and kind of play out PA here. I'm leaning bullish. I do want to tap into this 1 hour, so that is going to be my main target of the day. And then as far as the 15-minute, it is far to the left as far as where we would reject out of, but we'll see what we get off of open here. Hopefully we don't just rip and go take it. That would low-key kind of be tragic, but I don't know. Nasdaq never fucking surprises me at all. I'll go into a little bit more about my checklist onto my trades whenever I actually take execution, but I actually just want to get a play off right here. I like that sweep right there. I love that. All right, I'm taking this right here. Beautiful play off the rip. The reason I'm taking this is because we swept all the sell side resting below us. I don't think this is any session highs or session lows down here. Oh yeah, it might have been London actually. Let me see. Oh yeah, we did have London lows right there. So yeah, we have London lows resting right there too. So I like us sweeping that London low. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check if ES swept it as well, because we might have made an SMT at that low. So it looks like we did. We do have our SMT, so that adds another pointer into this trade right here. All SMT is just a divergence between two assets. So like when NQ sweeps London low, as you see here, but ES fails to sweep this low. So you can see it failed to sweep that low right there. That is SMT divergence, and then we can use that as a confluence into trading. So what we have right here is we have a 1 minute inversion as well. 1 minute inverse for value gap at this high. This wick was kind of weird. Yeah, my fault. What I'll do is I'll just darken this up a little bit because I know it might be harder to see for you guys. Don't mind my dog in the background. He's over here being loud and obnoxious as fuck. In a situation like this, you could run a 1-to-1 right here, targeting the unfilled hourly above us. I'm kind of convicted in the draw, so I'm going to scale down to probably a 1-to-2 here, and kind of see how we play. Hopefully my stop loss isn't too tight because these conditions are a little bit more volatile. But a lot of the times in a situation like this, when you're convicted in the draw, you can get away with targeting, 1-to-1. A lot of people go break-even discretionarily right here. I mean, mechanically right there. I typically have a break-even discretional. So what do we have in this trade? We have a liquidity sweep of London low. We have an SMT at that low. ES failed to take it out. We have a strong draw on liquidity, unfilled 4 hour. We still have a higher time frame PD array that we're rejecting out of because we tapped into this daily fair value gap. And then if we scale to the 15-minute as well, and we scroll to the left, there's probably some type of fair value gap right here that held price. There's one right here, and there's one right here. I really can't tell which one is the one holding price up though because of how far to the left it is. It looks like that bottom one is holding. So what I like to have is a lower time frame for value gap and also a higher time frame for value gap. So that's why you guys see me scrolling to the left and looking for a 15-minute, because I like to add both as confluences rather than just using the lower time frame as a confluence. As you can see, that 15-minute actually held perfectly, and so that adds even more of a confluence into taking this execution right here. I'm pretty confident in this play. We're gonna risk 1 NQ on this trade right here. Actually, we'll risk 2 to risk 850. And then basically what I do is I like to basically try to get my evols passed relatively quickly. So we'll see how this trade plays out. Okay, I do like us coming back down. We did take out the New York high, so that is kind of scary. Let me make sure that ES didn't tap into that hourly. It did. Okay, ES tapped into the hourly. A lot of the times I would close right here because we did SMT at this high. So what I mean by that is like when ES takes out this hourly right here. All right, so what you'll see is that a lot of the times ES took out this hourly right here. That's why we fell the way we did. We didn't take out the full drawn liquidity. I still think NQ should go take it out here. I might be wrong. In live time, this wick right here that we got that tapped into that hourly, which would have been right there, probably would have closed out full size right there because we SMT'd at the high. I was not recognizing it, backtesting because I skipped through kind of fast. So we'll see how this plays here. It could still hold. If not, it's cool, but I know in live time that I would have closed out the trade. Yeah, I got wicked out. Oh my god, now we're gonna run TP. That's ridiculous. So I'm really not mad at that. I mean, in my eyes, probably would have been a win in the live market. The reason I just skipped through too fast, and the last thing I want to do is just like, you know, go back in time and stuff like that. But the overall idea was right. Drawn liquidity was correct. I recognized that we did SMT at this high right here, and so would have for sure have closed when I seen ES tap into that drawn liquidity. So that's on me. Stop loss placement, in my opinion, was good. I could have ran a 1-to-1, still been in the trade, but didn't really want to risk that much. So what I'll do is we'll just skip to the next day, start a next New York session, and rinse and repeat. One thing I low-key did forget to show you guys is my checklist, so I'll low-key make sure to do that in the next trade that we take. So the first thing that I'm also seeing with where we're at is we're getting major rejection on the higher time frame at those highs above us. So like if we look at the monthly time frame, you can see that we have 2 major rejections right here, almost making a rejection block. So I think low key we might go take out some of this sell side. We have a lot of trend line built up on the higher time frame that I'd expect us to go run, but as of now I'm gonna just be safe and just kind of target different levels that make sense at the current moment. So the first thing that I'm seeing is that we have an unfilled 4-hour right below price. So I do like this as a nice drawn liquidity, unfilled 4-hour right there. So that would be my bullish or my bearish target for the day. And then above us, we also have an unfilled 1-hour as well. And so the reason I like these is because on the higher time frame, you'll see that price will want to go rebalance these levels out a lot more than like an unfilled 15-minute or unfilled like 5-minute or something like that. I know some people use those. Personally, I don't find those like really useful because I like the higher time frame context. It gives me a lot more discretion and a stronger drawn liquidity on the trades that I'm taking. So we just got onto the 5-minute. What I'm gonna do is I'll turn on my session indicator, see the session highs and session lows. Looks like London did expand a lot. So we'll mark this out as the London high, boom, just like that, and then we'll turn this off right there. Kind of a similar situation to yesterday. I low-key want to see if we rebalance this hourly before we dump to the 4-hour or vice versa. So I want to take the ping pong right here, reversal. We tap into this 4-hour and then reverse. I want to type the hourly. We tap the hourly first and then reverse. I want to take the 4-hour. So I'm just going to stay patient, see what we get right here. I'm going to stay on the 5-minute. Looks like we want to run lower. Yeah, I do think we probably want to run lower here. We might get a reversal play. We'll just see here. We should go take out that draw. And then another good thing that we also have is this New York open wick. So I like to use this as a good drawn liquidity as well, the New York wick. It's not 930, which is typically what I like the most on those 930s. That 4-hour is getting cooked through. Holy shit. Yeah, we're bearish as shit. Yeah, we're bearish. What time is this? February 2021. Was this COVID? No, this wasn't COVID. This wasn't COVID. It was around that time, though. So, I mean, we're hella bearish. I didn't even have other sell-side targets, honestly. A lot of the times what you want to do when we are trending bearish like this, which is the complete opposite of what we're doing right now, is just target these lows. So you can target this low right here, these low hanging fruits. Sometimes I try to look for equal highs on the higher time frame. So if you look at the 4-hour, we low-key have this at equal lows right here. I mean, not equal highs, equal lows. So I do like this as a drawn liquidity as well. Higher time frame equal lows are really, really good. And a lot of the times you'll see price come right back to them, which is probably why we're dropping the way that we are. If I recognized this earlier, I would have been able to see this through, but it is what it is. We'll just wait for some type of pullback here. If we take out this drawn liquidity, we might be able to get the reversal, but we'll just see. We'll just have to see how this plays out here. Okay. Let me see if ES took that out. it didn't. Okay, bet. So we'll see how we react right here. Get some type of move lower. Might be a rebalance right now, honestly. Yeah. Price is bullish. I honestly thought we were gonna sweep that low, honestly. Those equal lows. I'm surprised we did not come there to take that. I think we might go take out this hourly now. I'll play through this just a little bit and see what we get. Boom. Okay, boom. So I like us tapping into that unfilled hourly. And I do like this V-shaped recovery right there as well. So this is a little bit later into the session. I do like us running into this hourly. Maybe could have caught the play back up, but when I seen these equal lows, I low-key only wanted that target there, so not really mad at it. Equal, I mean, New York AM weight got tapped into as well. Want to see us somewhat reject this hourly that we just tapped into as well. I do like this play. What I'll do is I'll just mark this out right here. Boom, 1 hour FVG. And then we'll see if we have anything lower to target. Not at the moment. We have a 15-minute down here. We have a 15-minute, and then we also have an unfilled 5 minutes. So I mean, we could target either or here. I'm gonna take kind of a retrace play here. I do like this situation though, targeting this unfilled 15-minute as the drawn liquidity, and then we can run a relatively tighter stop loss. I'll run like a 50 stop loss right here, and then we'll go ahead and take this execution. Let me slide down to one contract because I'm oversized, just like that. And then we also obviously have the 1 minute inversion for entry right here. So just mark this out as 1 minute iFVG. And then we also did sweep the unfilled hourly above us as well. So I'm going to sell this right here. Boom. We'll see how this plays as a reversal setup to the downside to the 15-minute. Boom. Should be good. Boom. All right. So nice play. I mean, I like the reversal. I think that hourly was the unfilled 15-minute. I think that hourly was the threshold that I wanted to see get hit. If you guys remember earlier, before I even started anything, I said I wanted us to tap into that unfilled 4-hour, rebalance to the hourly. And luckily we got it, but since price is kind of overextended, we were due for retrace. I like these reversal plays right here, targeting some type of internal liquidity, external liquidity to internal liquidity. I love those plays a lot because they're very easy to catch, and you could also have a higher RR on them. I could have ran stops right there, honestly, and I honestly probably should because it was a protected level, but ran a 50 point just for cushion. In hindsight, I low-key should have just ran a tighter stop, but not a bad play. If you guys want to see my checklist, so what I'll do is I go here, click strategies, and then you can see my models right here. So basically, as far as my model and the way that I like to execute the trades that I do take is I want to see, number one, a higher time frame rejection. So obviously in this trade we had it because we were rejecting this 1 hour fair value gap. I also want to see a lower time frame rejection. So what that would be a 15-minute or a 5-minute. In this case, we didn't tap into any 15-minute, but I believe we tapped into a 5-minute, which is also stacked in with it right here. So boom, we have this 5-minute fair value gap. I'll just darken it up just a little bit so you guys can see. And we mark this out as a 5-minute fair value gap. Boom, lower time frame rejection. And then as far as the lower time frame inversion, obviously we have the 1 minute, and it was very V-shaped as well. As you can see, it's a 3. We have the fair value gap built right here, and then boom, we inverse it right away. So I like that as well. SMT, I low-key didn't check for SMT on this specific play. Let me go to the 1 minute and kind of see. Right there, no SMT at that high, no SMT there. Yeah, so we didn't have any really major SMT. We did put in an external SMT though, so that would be marked as my SMT. If we scale it to the 15-minute here, and we scale to the 15-minute on NASDAQ, you guys can see that we have this high that we took out right here, but ES also took out that high as well. So wait, no, that means there wasn't SMT. My fault, I'm tweaking. Yeah, so no SMT, so it wouldn't be A+. Drawn liquidity was unfilled 15-minute. Like I said earlier, like the unfilled 15 minutes and stuff, they're not bad. The only time I take them is on retrace plays, kind of like how you guys see here. And I would have went break even after this point right here. So this would have been my break even point. So we had a liquidity sweep. We still have the New York highs from earlier. Stop loss is protected, and then also a pretty good inversion. So this would, in my model, this would be an A- setup when I grade it, just because we didn't have all the things for my checklist right here. I do low-key want to lean bearish and target the equal lows that we left below us as well. Now we have this daily rejection right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and lighten this up just a little bit. We got the 4-hour right here, and then let me just ace all this out right here. I do want to target these equal lows on the higher time frame. It is relatively far, like 400 points away. So we'll see if we maybe have some type of liquidity leading up to it. What I'll do is I'll turn on the session indicator again. We have London highs right above us. Boom, just like this. Mark out London highs, and then Asia high, Asia low got swept, London lows got swept. So we'll just mark out the London highs, see how we kind of play off here. On the hourly time frame, we do have a bullish or value gap right here, so we'll keep note of that as well. If we do want to displace higher, if we want to reject and go lower, then we're gonna hold it and then end up inevitably falling to the equal lows. I think the higher time frame drawn liquidity is these equal lows. We are relatively bearish, so I do want to lean more towards shorts than anything here. But we'll just see how we play off of open here, and kind of see how we run. It's a good move. Let me pull ES up a little bit. There you go. I'll just get through a few candles. No inversion yet. Okay, that was an insane sweep. Holding that hourly. I want to take this, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I want to take this. I think I'm gonna take this. The reason I'm taking this play here is because this 15 minutes holding lower time frame, hourly still holding on the higher time frame. We still have that daily above us that's holding as well. We now made this New York low right at open, right here. So we now have New York low as well. It's not a wick, so it's not a really good draw on liquidity target, but I do feel like we got a failed sequence to the upside here. When we run lower, fail up, and then we get that close through the 1 minute inversion. That a lot of times gives me confirmation that price wants to go lower. So we have the 1 minute iFVG right there. I don't know if we SMT'd anything at this point, because that low looks, or that high looks to have been taken on ES as well. Yes, it was. But we do have the higher time frame SMT right here. So now ES doesn't need to sweep it because we do have the SMT on the NQ. So I do like that a lot. 1 minute inversion. What we'll do is we'll take the short position right here. Could run protected stop loss right there and target the lows down there. This will probably be the play that I go for here. As far as the checklist in this situation here, what I'll do is I'll place my order real quick. So as far as the checklist in this situation right here, we do have the higher time frame rejection, lower time frame rejection, 1 minute inverse. We have the SMT, valid draw on liquidity, New York low. We swept liquidity. We didn't really sweep any like session liquidity though, because one highs was right above us. So I'm really not gonna count it as like a liquidity sweep in my opinion, because this is just kind of like a 6 a.m. high. I don't really understand if this is. All right, that might have been. Hold on, I might have been looking at the wrong day. Okay, never mind, I wasn't. All right, but yeah, I wouldn't really classify that as liquidity sweep, so I'm gonna unmark that. Stop loss is protected, and we do have a really nice inversion. 2 and 3 minute, I low-key want to see those close as well. One thing that I've noticed is that looking at the 2 and the 3 minute as well, making sure those inverse as well gives you really strong confirmation to the downside. We should just rip this New York low though. This looks like a really good reversal setup. Boom, just like that. Stop loss protected as well. If I ran a stop loss here, I would have got cooked in the trade. So happily, I put my stop loss at a protected level. All things kind of added up here as well. So 2 wins. I forgot how many losses, but 2 wins so far. Really not too bad at all. I mean, I hope you guys are starting to see the model that I trade, see why I'm taking certain executions, my thought process behind those executions as well, you know, so it makes more sense for you guys going forward. So what we'll do is skip to the next New York session as well. This is going to be Friday, same context as well. We did end up sweeping those equal lows, so my higher time frame biases is correct, which I do like to see. You know, those equal lows was very prominent. I felt like market needed to sweep that out. Now we might get a reversal back up. And we also do have an unfilled 4 hour. So, bro, this is just beautiful market market price action. So what I'll do is I'll delete this, boom, boom, just like that. And so we have the unfilled 4 hour above us now. We are getting distribution out of a daily, I believe. Did we tap it? No, we didn't. Okay, so we didn't tap the daily. What I'll do is I'll look at the weekly, or that's the 4 week. Let me look at the weekly. Nothing on the weekly as well. So we might, what are we rejecting out of right there? Really nothing. Yeah, really nothing, honestly. That's the only bad thing about this position, is that at those equal lows, we don't really have too much. Maybe this hourly right here. That hourly may be holding. No, we close below it. Yeah, we close below it. Okay. That's not really bad. We don't really have any higher time frame injection, according like on a mechanical level. But you know, obviously the drawn liquidity is very prominent here. This is a very good buyer model right back up to the unfilled 4 hour. I'm very confident in this play off of the rip. I think we might just go rip it off the open, which would low-key be unfortunate because that is the nice strong liquidity that I'd want to target. We did leave this London low below us right here, so I'll just mark this out as well. No, that's New York low, London low. and then Asia low and Asia high was swept once again. So we'll keep that into context. We did sweep major sell side liquidity, so I low key do like this rebalance. But the only thing is, we might go take the draw off open here, which would low key be kind of unfortunate because this is for sure gonna go get taken. I'm 100% sure this unfilled 4 hour getting taken. So we have to rebalance it in order for us to move lower or higher. Hopefully, don't take it off open here. Please, please give me an entry. Please, 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 please. Oh my god, bro. God damn, bro. I hate when price runs without me, bro. That should be so pissed, bro. I was so convicted in the draw too. Like, that's what lucky sucks. I mean, ideally, if we get a reversal out of that play, that would be nice. Above that though, as far as other draws and liquidity, there's really nothing else I like as much. That 4 hour is kind of very prominent. We have a daily high there. Our previous day high is kind of far. I think on the 4 hour for real. So yeah, I'm just gonna see how PA plays out here. This is one of those moments where when we take out, like, sometimes for me, I'm so convicted in the draw that when we take out the draw and I don't get entry to the draw and liquidity, then I, like, at that point it's like, all right, like I'm pretty much just done trading for the day, because last thing I want to do is go for some fuckery. That looks good. That looks really good. I'm gonna wait that. I do like that 1 minute holding right there. That's nice. I do like that 1 minute holding. We did get the 1 minute inversion. I didn't take it though, just because I want to see how price plays out here. So we have the 1 minute inversion, iFVG, and that's also followed by a, I think it might be a 2 or a 3 minute. There's a 2 minute and a 3 minute in there, but it's also followed by a 1 minute rejection out of that level. In this situation, I feel like my stop loss would very well be protected at a place like this. The only thing that I would struggle to find in a situation right here is just simply a draw on liquidity, because we kind of have equal lows here. We kind of have relative equal lows here. So I think this is probably what I'm going to target. It's just relative equal lows. So all I'll do is just do relative. My fault. Let me zoom in just a little bit more so you guys can see that. What I'll do is I'll just target this relative equal lows as a reversal play right here. I do like that 1 minute holding, and we can pretty much get it. I'm going to just go for a 1-to-1 here. I'm going to drag TP for a 1-to-1, because the last thing I want to take here is not a 1-to-1 and go negative RR on a play. So I'm going to take this 1-to-1 here. I'm kind of convicted in the direction of where price is going to go, but I'm really not convicted in the draw and liquidity. The good thing about this is that we do have trend line built up right here. So I do think that we go take it, especially with that level holding. I'm going to size up to 2 cons right here to pass the account theoretically. This should just end up ripping though. All right, there we go. So boom. So again, the reason I took this trade, even though it looks a little bit different from the other trades that I have taken, is because number one, we tap into this unfilled 4 hour, which, you know, we can see a rejection out of off the rip. We get a 1 minute inversion for entry. However, I don't enter off of the inversion because I need just a little bit more confirmation. Whenever we make this 1 minute and we get that nice displacement wick out of it, you guys can see how we have 3 or 4 candles now that tap into that 1 minute and then just completely fail. So in my opinion, that gives me good confirmation. We get a nice strong close below, and we also build hella LRR on the way to those relative equal lows. So I knew my direction was going to be correct. It was just more so the draw and liquidity that I didn't like. With a move like that, we might fuck around and just go take London lows below us. We'll see. Nah, yeah, it would have been too choppy. So I'm glad I took the 1-to-1. I think idea would have been correct, like, you know, standpoint wise, but, you know, kind of wanted to play it safe. If you wanted to run a tighter stop loss, you could have ran it above the 1 minute right there. But just wanted to take a win there to at least, you know, somewhat pass the account, you feel me? Appreciate you guys for watching and, you know, supporting my journey. You guys have been fucking with this backtesting session videos, so I'll make sure to keep them coming for you guys as well. If you guys have any recommendations on videos that you guys want me to make sure you guys comment them in the description. Make sure you guys comment them in the comment section, and I'll try to reply to them and make them for you guys as time goes on. But as always, blessings. I pray that all of you guys may have a great day, great journey, and you guys may continue to apply the knowledge that I have in these videos into your own journey and inevitably become profitable day traders. And again, if you guys want to join my free Discord, I'll have it linked below, as well as my one-on-one program to work with me personally. But besides that, I'll catch you guys in the next video.